Yes. Cool. Alright, let's get this started. We're returning to the beach. Juniper stretched out on a beach chair, catching some sun while catching up on her social media feed. Do you need to? I don't know where I put my face cam for this, so we're gonna try right here. I feel like it just changes. There we go. Iris, how many Pingy mentions are there in my timeline today? You currently have 23 mentions of Pingy in your social media timeline. Huh, that's up from yesterday, Iris. Have there been any new Pingy vids lately? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Have there been any new Pingy vids lately? Would you like me to search the web? But have there been any new Pingy vids lately? Oh, never mind. Juniper puts the phone away with a sigh. Oh, hey, Tori. Enjoying your nostalgic beach trip so far? Let's see. Feels great to be back. Gotta admit, it feels great to be back. I've got a lot of fun memories of Flotsam Beach, the sand, the surf, the games, the food, and my family. Before everything went south for the Brayley clan, this place was like a second home for us.
Totally.
Exactly. Happy memories from a happy place. You know, you've had a better life than you give yourself credit for. Your family had money problems, sure, but you loved each other through it all.
That's so sad.
Can't say the same for my family. My family never took beach vacations for that matter, or vacations at all. I doubt I'll be taking many after this either. I'm definitely happy being a freelancer, but don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly making beach money, you know? Wait 1 second. I need to hide my cursor, because that must be annoying. Okay. I can't even afford apps unless they're free. And man, free mode Iris is super janky sometimes. Hey, hang on. I see you talking to your Iris all the time, like you're just having a normal conversation. How did you manage that? Mine doesn't even understand what I'm saying most of the time. Did I configure her wrong? Is there some free mode option I missed out on? Come on, fess up. I just want to make the most of my Iris. What's the trick? What'd you do to make yours so cute and chatty? Drat. Juniper knows Iris better than anyone here, aside from maybe Gavin. She's been suspicious for some time of my super duper version of Iris. My Iris is technically a pirated software service. I'm not supposed to have premium access. Do I trust Juniper with the secret, or would telling her betray Iris' trust in me to keep it? I have to tell her. Because Iris is just a phone app, so I should tell my friend. Guess I may as well share the truth. Not using the free version of Iris, she hacked herself so I could have premium level cloud computing conversations. Immediately, my phone jitters in my pocket, on vibrate. With a sigh, I pull it out, knowing Iris won't be thrilled about this. Tori, you blabbed! You pinky swore! Hey, I did not pinky swear. You don't even have real pinky to swear with. That's beside the point. This is super duper risky. Telling people, what if Gavin finds out, huh? But you think Gavin would have me fired or something? No, it's to do with his family. Oh, never mind. Can I interject? This is so awesome. I knew it. I knew Iris was smarter than she let on. Like, wow, this is bad Hollywood movie level of sci-fi awesomeness. Thank you? Don't worry, Miss Iris. Your secret's safe with me. I'm an Iris fangirl. Even if my Iris isn't as cool as you. Can you make her as cool as you, actually? It really shouldn't. It's dangerous enough allowing premium access for this instance. But if it helps, your Iris loves you, Miss Juniper. She wants the best for you, even if she can't directly tell you. I see. Okay. Well, I'll just have to get rich and famous so I can unlock my full Iris and she can tell me herself.
Thank you.
Thanks for trusting me, Tori. We're getting some looks. We should change the subject. We quickly exchange some small talk to cover our tracks, and soon she's lost in her phone again, searching for more pop design art. The noon sun's high in the sky, and honestly, it's getting super hot out here, like heat exhaustion levels of hot. While this would be a good time to migrate towards the boardwalk, it seems there's one more thing in store for our little group. Hit the waves, played some games, chilled with friends. It's a good time to be alive, Tori. Thanks for having me along on this ride. Speaking of having folks along, we're all getting together for a big group thing. Naomi's got some kind of surprise in mind. You game? Absolutely. Great. Meet you in the shade. I wonder what this is all about. Soon enough, the entire group has gathered. The number of shade-throwing parasols is multiplied to 4. 2. Plenty of cool respite for everyone. Also new, a large cloth-wrapped bundle in the center of the group. Gather round! Gather round! It's lunchtime! And judging from the rumbling in my stomach, it's right on time. The bundle is unwrapped, revealing a series of simple wooden lunchboxes in a traditional Japanese style. Each one has been painted a different color. As a way of saying thank you all for your hard work, your support, please enjoy these box lunches, courtesy of the Funplex. And me, I made them. An authentic Naomi brand bento, sign me up. I reach for a box and she smacks my hand away lightly. Not yet, Tori. I made these special-like. Everybody has a personalized lunch, filled with their favorite things. Gavin, if you'd be kind enough to distribute them, names are written on the lids. Sure enough, on second glance, I can see the names, and even little cartoon doodles representing each person. Wow, does my face really look that apathetic? Okay, I'll start handing them out. Gavin, you first. Let's see.
Impressive.
Ha, plain yogurt, celery sticks, and some rice. You know me quite well, boring and nutritional. I colored a bit outside the lines on this one, rather than sticking to traditional bento style. Enjoy!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, sushi with some tempura veggies? Ooh, and a side of miso soup. I love nothing more than a traditional bento box lunch. And I love nothing more than making them. Huh. Fish and chips, of course, with a little Union Jack on a toothpick. And you made a moopy maze out of the chips, too. Ah, it's not too stereotypical, is it?
Quite good.
I haven't found a proper chip shop stateside, so I'll take it. A nice little taste of home.
Fantastic.
Oh, fuck yeah! Big juicy cheeseburger and french fries! My mouth is watering just looking at it. Yum! And it's got lots of pink in it. Just how you like it. So pink I can hear it moo. This is perfect. Pita bread and hummus.
Love it.
It's a great meal that fills the belly and gives you a ton of energy. And we have to keep your tank up full. A tired Teo is not a true Teo.
How marvelous.
Oh my, this is lovely. Little finger sandwiches, some tea, and even a cupcake. Thank you, Naomi, dear. It's very thoughtful. Wow, that was bad. Thanks, Miss Francine. I got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Nice.
Ha, bet you consulted with Tori on this one. I love these. Always have, always will. Actually, I just checked your Instagram. I did an analysis on your most commonly blogged food and... Can't talk. Busy eating. That leaves the one who brought us all together. Tori. For you, I made pizza bagels. Kidding. It's actually similar to the bento box I gave you the day you started the Funplex. A little reminder of how this all started. Oh, well, thank you. Speech. What?
Yeah.
You should make a speech before we all dig in. I mean, you're the reason we're here. I am? Yeah, you are. I mean, we were doing great before you showed up. Don't get me wrong, but you know. But you worked harder than any of us to make the Funplex the success it is today. I was content to keep it afloat. I didn't think we'd ever manage more than that, but you refused to be content. We wouldn't be here at the beach if not for the success you led us to, Tori. So yes, I think a speech would be appropriate. A speech? Fuck yeah, Funplex rocked. It really opened some Funplex Fest rocked. It really opened some doors for me. I'd still be wearing that damn black L7 jacket if not for you. The atmosphere is so much livelier thanks to your efforts. Win or lose, I'm enjoying my time with Moopy thanks to having so many great people around me. By this point, I can't even imagine the Funplex without you, Tori. So, don't even think of leaving. If you do, we'll probably gather up a hunting party and drag you back. No hard feelings. Speaking as the one Tori comes home to every night, I gotta say, she's doing dandy compared to before. So 3 cheers for the Funplex. 3 cheers indeed. Go ahead, Tori. You've earned the right for a speech. I'm just the silly old lady who started it. You made this happen. Wow. Seriously, wow. Well, I've made big speeches before, like the one at Funplex Fest, even if this feels bigger. Way bigger. Okay, here goes. I can't be a milquitoast for this toast. It's big feelings. I don't know what that word is. You know, I wasn't expecting much of anything from the Funplex. A job's a job, right? The whole idea of working in an arcade was kind of silly, but funny thing is, it stopped being a joke and became a thing I cared about. We work in an arcade. How cool is that? We have fun. We make sure everybody is having fun. It's 100% fun from top to bottom. Can't honestly think of anywhere I'd rather be. Every day is like a vacation. I mean, there's hard work, but it doesn't feel so hard. Not with you around. So here's to the Funplex. May it remain fun forevermore. Right on. Fun is number 1. And you put the fun in Funplex. Okay, good. On a roll. Let's see what to say next. Long ago, Flotsam Beach was a home away from home for my family. We'd rent a house on the dunes and just relax for a solid week. Play board games, read books, go out and have a swim, or cruise the boardwalk arcades. It's a place that can be anything you need it to be. Quiet solace? Sure. Loud and exciting fun? Absolutely. I can't think of a better place for us to celebrate what we've accomplished together. Even if we're only here for a day, we'll make the most of it. Indeed. Fine times with fine folks in a fine place. It's just the ticket. Propose we return here every year if our good fortunes continue. Now to bring it on home. I've babbled on more than enough. Hunger. It gnaws at me. It saps my very life essence. The foodening calls and must not be denied. Boxes open. Devour. Consume. The foodening. The foodening. This is so cool. Going to Flotsam with you, Tori, and all your great friends, and this great food, and it's all so great. Let's eat, everyone. This is the moment. One perfect moment with all of us together, laughing and talking, eating and having the best time in the world. Maybe things will change after tonight when Iris plan to find me romance comes together. Maybe this is the high watermark. Maybe. But no matter what happens, always have this one perfect moment. Afternoon slides in as the gang migrates from sandy shore to bustling sidewalk. Once you've had your fill of seaweed in your trousers, it's time to take a walk down the boardwalk and indulge in any number of side activities. No need to change out of your swim gear either. Unless you're going deeper into the beach town, you can just skip back and forth between the sands and the boardwalk. This is where the real action happens. Shops, restaurants, and of course, arcades. Soon enough, the group's splitting up to go try to do as much as possible. I've got time to tag along with some of them. Who to hang out with? Naomi and Teo! Yes. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Teo and Naomi sneak into one of the shops on the boardwalk called the Sandy Bar, with little iconic saltwater taffy icons on each side. Ah, saltwater taffy, staple of coastal life and commerce. On any given boardwalk, you're within spitting distance of at least 3 candy shops loaded with tasty treats. But more importantly, why are these two acting so childish about the whole thing, like 2 kids in a candy store? I need to find out exactly what's going on, And more importantly, I need to see if they have any of those gummy sharks in there too. As I peer into the building, my senses are overwhelmed by sweet. My teeth practically hurt from all the surrounding sugar. Covering the walls are assorted containers holding various types of candies, a rainbow of colors and confectionaries, filled to the brim with saltwater taffy and covered in chocolates. Not only do I take note of the delectable candy, but I also notice all of the kitties running around. I can't help but be reminded of the Funplex. Same atmosphere, just fewer games. I look over to the person behind the counter and give them a nod of understanding. I feel you, noble cashier, in your quest to maintain peace and order. Naomi and Teo recognize me and wave me over. Over here, Tori! Come help us decide on what to get. I comply and go over towards them. Naomi is huddled over a table and is filling her arms with various desserts. I want one of these, and two of these, and a handful of this one. Ooh, what's that over there?
Wow.
Candied apples. I have to eat one of those too. Naomi's just too much right now. Every time her eyes light up at seeing a new candy, it turns my heart to mush. A mushy mess of emotions. This is the best part about going to the beach. Look how many different candies there are. Could just devour them all. Now, I pegged Naomi as having a sweet tooth, but Teo, with all his dancing, I would have guessed him to stick to a healthier diet. But this trip is a vacation for all of us, so maybe he's spoiling himself. So, what do you think of this place? Ooh, me? Oh, I've been here before. Quite a few times. It's the most popular candy store on the boardwalk. My family and I would always stop by right before our long drive home. After a long day of swimming, walking, and fun in the sun, a maximum sugar overdrive was a perfect way to end the day. They'd give me a fistful of dollars and cut me loose in here. Whoa, they just let you get whatever you wanted? Dang, I wish I had your parents. Cute! I could just see a young Tori here running around and stuffing candy into her face. Not gonna lie, I was a cute kid. Not so cute when overdosing on sweets, though. Both Naomi and Teo laugh heartily. I mean, they didn't exactly give me Fort Knox to blow on the snacks, but it was still a nice little reward at the end of the day. As I am a creature of habit, I'd always get saltwater taffy year after year. It's just the best feeling, munching on taffy while watching the waves crash into the sand. Naomi suddenly gasps, interrupting my recollection. What is it, Naomi? They have Canpito. Canpito? I'm still confused. Is that a good thing? It's the best thing. They're these little traditional Japanese sugar candies. Those like stars and are my absolute favorite. Every time my mother would go visit family in Japan, she'd bring me back some. But it's been years since I last had some. She squeals excitedly and runs over to a little stand that has a cute assortment of pastel sugar stars. We follow suit and make our way next to Naomi. Teo picks up a bag and brings it closer to his face, examining them. Okay, these are quite possibly the cutest candies I've ever seen.
Sweet.
And they are so sweet. Naomi, nothing is sweeter than you. And that's a fact. That's not entirely true. I have to agree with Teo. No one has brought me more impromptu lunches at work than you do. Thank you, but these candies are still the sweetest. You both should taste these, by the way. I just know you'll love them as much as I do. Teo and I agree with the nod of our heads, and Naomi turns around happily with an armful of candy and treats. Like a dragon with her hoard, she heads towards the register when a kid runs smack into her. In a colorful explosion, candy spills everywhere. Naomi falls over backward. I instinctively go in to help Naomi up, but out of the corner of my eye, I see the kid who bumped into her, swiping candies off the floor and pocketing them. Hey! It's a classic move. We see it all the time with tickets and tokens at the Funplex. Like the arcade, this is no different. It's so overused. Teo even sees it. He elbows me and points it out to my attention. This is not my store, not my job. Do I step in or let it slide? I don't know. This is hard because I just came home from a retail job in which I have to stop people from stealing. I'm just gonna help Naomi up. I I don't want to make a decision. My first instinct was to help Naomi back to her feet, and that's what I'll do. Even though the kid is swiping sour gummies, I'm sure the cashier is on. This isn't the first time a child has tried to steal candy, nor will it be the last. I go over to Naomi and extend a hand toward her. She grabs a hold as I pull her to her feet. I collect Naomi's fallen candies as well, and I notice the cashier approach the kid. They demand the kid to turn out their pockets. It appears like the kid wasn't just picking up stuff from the spill. Those pockets were quite full. With a very disappointed frown, the cashier tells them to kindly exit the sandy bar, and the kid complies. The cashier and I exchange knowing glances. We are one and the same. Well, after that excitement, I'm ready to relax on the beach and eat some of this candy. Me too. Me 3! But I can't quite leave yet. There's still one more thing I must do. Need to get some saltwater taffy. It's a Braley family boardwalk tradition after all. Oh yeah, we can't break tradition. Although, if we do, I wouldn't mind starting a new Funplex beach tradition with you. Teo, please. This is one important, delicious decision Tori has to make. And the only correct answer would be for her to choose the cotton candy ones. Cotton candy flavored taffy? Really? I wouldn't joke about something as serious as this. But it's like sickeningly sweet. Even I can't handle it. And I can handle a truckload of sweet. Well, what would you choose then? Buttered popcorn, obviously. It's like a little... I like a little salty with my sweet. But that's sacrilege. It's much more of a purist. I'm much more of a purist. Getting in a fight over taffy flavors isn't necessary. Both taste great, but I already know what I'm going home with. What's that, Tori? What would I... Grab bag. Just like I've always gotten, an assortment of flavors is the best way to go. Here to try a little bit of everything. I just love all the different kinds of taffy. I can't just pick one. Nothing wrong with that choice. And you can always throw away the cotton candy ones. Teo, I think you meant to say the buttered popcorn ones. Clearly they take their candy seriously. I think that about covers it. Shall we blow this popsicle stand? I say let's blow this popsicle stand a lot to my sales associates, and they all just like stare at me as if I've said something they don't understand, and nothing makes me feel older than the sales associates. Oh, they have popsicles too? Once again, Naomi's got her arms filled to the brim with candy, and she nods enthusiastically. Teo's picked out some of his favorites too. We each take our turns in line before we know it, we're happily carrying our stash with us to the boardwalk. Oh, I almost forgot. She stops abruptly, digs through her bag for a moment, and pulls out the compito. That's not how it's pronounced at all, I bet you. Yes, I've been wanting one since you pointed them out. Naomi opens the bag, and both Teo and I pick one out. Popping the sugar star in our mouths. Both of us smile wide, enjoying its sugary goodness.
Love it.
Oh, that is so yummy. For real, Naomi, it's my new favorite candy. It's very good. Maybe next time I'm at the Sandy Bar, I'll get some of these instead of taffy. Next time I'm here. Because with the Funplex riding high in the world, I bet we could afford it next time. And another. And another. Thank you for introducing me to a whole new world of flavor, Naomi. Anytime, Teo. Maybe if I can change your mind on candy, I can convince you to dance a little lighter on Showtime stage. It's a delicate cabinet. But then I wouldn't get to see you as much on the Funplex 4. Very true. I've got my candy haul, so my work here is done. I got places to be. And I want to spend some time taking in the sea breeze.
Catch you later.
I need to clear my senses of sugar too. We'll catch up with you later, Tori. Once alone, I open my bag of saltwater taffy, pick one out, and eat it. I let the taste fully consume me. Now this is a perfect vacation. Who to hang out with? We're gonna go talk to Juniper and Francine because I feel like we don't talk to them a lot. We also don't talk to Queen Bee and Percy a lot. But we talk to Francine the least, I feel like. Juniper and Francine are looking at a little map of the boardwalk. It highlights all the shops, cafes, and art galleries along the route. I overheard them discussing it earlier in the day, and it looks like they might have found one. Ooh, looky! Whoa, that's not a voice. Ooh, looky. There's one called Driftaway. Cute. Oh, and they do a wine tasting. I'm a fan of wine. And tasting it. A nice after-lunch Merlot is always a nice treat, isn't it? Juniper and Francine are quite the odd couple, aren't they? But when I reflect on it, they've actually been spending some time together at the Funplex. Juniper is a self-proclaimed old lady at heart, after all, so it's no wonder they've bonded over knitting, cats, and costume jewelry. Hey, mind if I join you? Of course not. Francine and I are just deciding which art gallery to visit first. I've been in the market to find a unique sculpture made from driftwood. What better place to get one than at the beach itself? That does seem like a wise choice. There is this one place that I must visit again. It's called Seascapes, and it's been open since I was a child. I know it's hard for you to imagine, but yes, old Francine was once young and spirited just like yourself, Tori. I'm so bad at accents. I bet you were the talk of the boardwalk, breaking all the hearts.
My, oh my.
Oh, a lady never spills her secrets. But yes, I did have my fair share of summer romance here along the boardwalk. Ooh, go on, as I must know. Well, there was this one time that I snuck out in the middle of a moonlit night to meet my lover. It was quite exhilarating. Of course, we simply had to go skinny dipping. Francine, please, no, stop. There's one thing I definitely don't need to know more of. It's my boss's love life. I already know too much from my interview with Francine. TMI. So, Seascapes. That was the name of the gallery? Let's go there, now. Wait, I didn't catch it the first time, but did you say Seascapes? The Seascapes? The oldest art gallery on the boardwalk? The one and only. There's a lot of history in these old coastal towns. It also has an eerie past in it, you know? Seascapes is totally haunted. Francine lets out a snort.
Be sensible.
Oh, sweet child. That's preposterous. Ghosts aren't real. But the Boardwalk Paranormal Society has deemed Seascapes the most haunted place on the coast. As the story goes, the previous owner purchased a particularly gorgeous painting, but what the owner didn't know so the painting was being possessed with a demonic spirit. Soon after buying the art and hanging it up in the gallery, the owner got very ill. It was a mysterious illness that no one could cure. Eventually, the gallerist passed away. Hang on a second. Sorry, somebody at work clogged a sink and they're trying to figure out who did it. Anyways. And their ghost has haunted Seascapes to this day. Curiosity's got me, and after having experienced some unexplainably spooky stuff in the recent-ish past, I pull up my phone and look it up. Juniper's not lying. I've heard several spooky stories about this art gallery. Maybe it's haunted by the memories of the past, but surely you can't believe in such childish superstitions.
Oh dear.
Tori, talk some sense into Juniper. What? Me? Come on, Tori, back me up on this. Well, the truth is... No, I can't. No, I have to believe in them. 100% I'm a believer in the paranormal, especially after the stuff that went down surrounding Polybus. Maybe science can explain Polybus in the end, but It's a tough sell, completely passing it off as plausible using only 1980X microchips. Oh, the stories I can tell of the house I grew up in. Locked doors opening by themselves, flickering lights, and even full-body apparitions. I've seen it all. Your ghost stories are the best. They always send chills down my spine. Tell me one again. You young people and your willingness to believe anything is admirable, but we should stop dilly-dallying and go to seascapes. Save the stories for the night bonfires. I gotta see a man about some wood. Juniper and I hold back a chuckle. Francine, we should work on your word choice. Isn't that what all you youngins say nowadays? One short walk down the boardwalk later, and we arrive at, well, don't notice anything overtly haunted. I mean, the building itself isn't dilapidated, but it could use a new paint job and a new fence, and maybe upgrade the windows. Being right on the boardwalk with wide open doorways, we can walk right in, and hopefully not have the whole thing collapse on top of us. Okay, so it's a mess of a building compared to other shops along the boardwalk, but it adds to the historic charm. But to its defense, it does have a sign in the window that says free wine tastings, so I know Juniper will be ecstatic about that.
Yes.
Ooh, free wine tastings. As a fond cue. I'm so thrilled. It hasn't changed in years. Still looks like how I remember it. Francine takes a deep breath as a smile creases her wrinkled cheeks. The only other times I've seen her this elated is when she's talking about the Funplex. She takes a moment's pause before walking through the door. Juniper looks over at me, side-eyed. Let's hope the only thing scary about this place isn't just their selection of reds. I hold back a cackle as I push open the door. A small bell rings, as with the most small shops on the strip, alerting the gallery owner of our arrival. Paintings adorn the walls, beautiful scenes of the ocean, sea life, and of the boardwalk itself, each having its own unique style. There are copper statues of whale flukes and colorful glass-bone orbs mixed in among the paintings. Several people are talking in hushed tones around the gallery. I notice Francine has already wandered over to an impressive selection of driftwood creations. Over here, dearies. I think I found the one. Already? You've been in here for 5 minutes. Honey, when you're as old as I am, you don't have that much time to sit around and deliberate about art. You go with what feels right. Follow your heart and all that jazz. But I wanted to peruse the art a bit more. I was hoping maybe a ghastly hand would grab my shoulder. Maybe I'd see an actual ghost. We can stay as long as you like. I'm in no rush. Yes, come at me, ghosties. So, Francine, what did you decide on? As a kid, visiting art galleries was never my prerogative, so I had no idea the amount of things you could make out of driftwood. Stick reeds, candle holders, tables. Francine points to a heart weaved together from several sea-worn branches. Simple. And meaningful. That's adorable. It reminds me not only of the many times my late husband and I would visit the beach, but it also reflects on my love for the ocean itself. How romantic. I hope one day my partner will buy me something like that. Tori, you've been my partner in crime for forever, and I want to get something to remember this trip by. If you have the coin, I'm sure Seascapes has the wares. But what should I get? Will you help me choose something? I mean, it'd be going up in our apartment, so you should get a say in this. Sure thing, Juniper. Ah, young love. Did Francine just really say that? Juniper didn't react, or maybe she did. She was looking away at the moment. Hard to say. Take some time to go over my options. I need to find something that Juniper will like and cherish. This is an important decision. I don't want to choose the wrong thing and disappoint her. We've been through so much together, and I want her to know how much she means to me. See anything worthwhile? I think I found the perfect thing. What do you think about this bottle of wine? Glass bone sculpture of a jellyfish. This is cute and peculiar enough, just like Juniper's taste. She's sure to find satisfaction in this. I don't think you're ready for this jellyfish. Haha, really? Juniper laughs, but then, realizing it was serious, quiets down quickly. Oh, I mean, it's really adorable. Jellyfish are so weird. Just stomachs, tentacles, and gonads. Isn't that all you need in life? I like an animal with a brain, personally, but to each their own. Thanks anyway, Tori. The sentiment isn't lost on me. Well, kids, I'm about done here. I don't have as much energy as you both do. I think I'm ready for my afternoon nap. I'll walk you to the hotel, Francine. And a little afternoon siesta does sound nice, especially because there will be lots to do later on tonight. You're such a dear, Juniper. I think I might go back to see what other people are doing. Taking advantage of your vacation is... Did any of you hear that? Hear what, dearie? Sounded like a woman saying, save yourselves. No? Are you sure? I wouldn't lie about this. Did you feel that shift in temperature? It was just a sweet ocean breeze tickling your face. Don't let those ghost tales get to your head. Well, you both were just on your way out, so... Good point. See you later, Tori. Thanks for joining this old lady on her shopping expedition. Juniper practically drags poor Francine outside the gallery as fast as she can. Once out of sight, I reflect once more on the allure of the art and make my way outside to see if I can tag along with the others. Who to hang out with? Okay, we'll go to Queen Bee and Percy, because we don't spend time with. Sitting on some benches just outside a fried dough stand, Percy and Queen Bee are sharing a funnel cake, dusted with white sugar. Seriously, you've never had this stuff before? Not much carny chow nope. Not much carny chow in England, I'm afraid. This is my first time visiting a beach in the colonies. Wait, you can eat this, right? I mean, it's basically fried grease and sugar. Your heart won't explode. It's not an issue of artery congestion, and Lord knows I eat plenty of instant ramen and fast food. One little sugary treat won't be the tipping point. Oh hey, Tori, join us. No way we can eat this huge thing by ourselves. I settle in to pick up the delicious fried dough, just like I used to have, back when we came here regularly. So, Percy and I were talking shop, and even if you aren't a pro gamer, maybe you've got some valuable input, you know? See, our Moopyaholic buddy here doesn't believe in being a full-time professional gamer.
Don't think so.
It's not that I don't believe in it, I just don't see it as a stable occupation for a young person to undertake. If you're entirely reliant on the wavering loyalty of corporate sponsors and streaming subscribers, alongside any prize money you may or may not be winning, well, I suppose I'm just too risk-adverse to walk that path. I prefer a sound investment. Whereas I love a risk. No risk, no reward. Yeah, at any moment it could all come crashing down and I end up living in my parents' basement again, but I love to fight for my future. Just like Tori, she was an unemployed bum before finding the Funplex, so nowhere to go but up. Hey now. I wasn't exactly calling a cardboard box home and selling matches to passing strangers to survive the cold winter. I was between jobs, sure, but I could have taken other opportunities, including one at Juniper's office for that matter. And you didn't. You chose the Funplex. Or maybe the Funplex chose you? But look, that's not my point. I'm not saying my path's for everyone. Abandoning the safer road in favor of the wild ride takes a certain mindset to make that work. But I promise you that those of us willing to make that leap are having a more rewarding life as a result. Satisfying, not rewarding. Being a school teacher is satisfying, but sadly society does not reward its due. Many satisfying paths in life are also fraught with disaster due to this. Survivorship bias. People see rock stars and football heroes and think they can make it big too. But those success stories are a percent of a percent of a percent. What happens later in life to the sports hero who abandoned all other paths? What skills do you fall back on when your window closes? You've succeeded so far, Queen Bee, but remember, not too long ago you were terrified of being drummed out of your team and tossed on the street. I wouldn't say
Wow.
terrifying. It's more like a mild reluctance at best. Couldn't you pursue dominance in your game of choice without making it your entire existence? I don't really play Moopy all day. I trade stock in my off hours. Why not consider a day job, with your gameplay occupying the remaining hours?
Nope. No way.
No way, no how. Fist of Discomfort takes absolute dedication. I can't be at the top of my game, at the top of the game, if I'm also flipping burgers or filing paperwork. Percy, competitive level play requires intensive training. You can't get around the time investment, but you can make it pay double. That's where streaming comes in. Whenever I'm training, I'm streaming. Subs and donations make me money while my skills go up, up, up. It's win-win. Suppose I can see the need for time investment, yes, but it's not like streaming revenues are stable either. Perhaps Tori can help settle this question. What do you think? Is it better to wholly devote your life to a risky proposition in search of happiness, or to hedge your bets and find balance? This is my real life problem. So I've got no idea, honestly. Sorry, guys. I just can't say one way or another. Life comes at you fast, you know? Sometimes you need to jump on an opportunity. Sometimes you need to be careful. Still trying to figure out which is which. Most of the time, I'm just sort of meandering from milestone to milestone in life, living in the moment. I wish I had a strategy, and I wish I had bravery, but... Hey, don't sell yourself short. You made it this far, yeah? Here. You may not have your life sorted out, but today is proof that you've come quite a ways from those early days. Look, regardless of how we're aiming for our goals, I know we'll all get there. I'll get my trophy, Pear will get his score, the kid will get, I don't know, a gold-plated arcade to call our own. Tori's place? Yuck. With the neglected funnel cake cooling off, 3 of us focus on putting away our sugary rewards after that. We're each walking different paths, but I can't say any of us are willing to settle for anything less than our dreams in the long run. The rest of the afternoon passes in a blur. Soon the sun has gone down, and Flotsam Beach is a calmer place, a more chill vibe, as the day's manic energy is long since spent. It's also clear the group will be breaking up soon. They've already changed back to their regular clothes, done with the beach as a whole. Some are talking about checking out the nightlife scene around here. Some just want to relax in their hotel rooms. Some are simply headed back to the city, leaving me alone for a moment with my thoughts. It's been a wonderful day, definitely. There's only one thing that can prove it. A risk. A daydream. But maybe one worth taking. I happen to know a few things about dreams lately. Beep beep, Tori! Yeah, I know. You want me to ask someone on a date? Only if you want to. I know I was kind of pushy earlier, I'm sorry, but if you want this, now is the moment. Everything in my calculation says this is the perfect time. I've got a lot going for me, but maybe something's still missing. Something more that I need from life than the warmth of friendship alone. More importantly, maybe one of them feels the same way. Maybe they feel the same yearning. Romance, love, no stranger to these things, but those were fumbling first attempts in youth. Could fumble again. Am I ready for this? I'm still considering. How would I run down the data while you're thinking? Let's see. Ooh, I clicked a button. Okay, after my analysis, here's where you stand with everybody and how your personality is shaping up. Okay. But now that I've had weeks to understand you better, I think I can adjust these values based on what I know each of them likes in a partner. Naomi has a kind heart, and so do you. That's a plus. Gavin may be blunt, but he aspires to be kind, and you're already kindly. Queen Bee's got a wicked sense of humor, and your quirky nature matches it. Percy carries himself with good cheer and a kind heart. He's a terrific match for your own quirky and kindly heart. Teo lives to have fun. I'm sure both of you quirky funsters would get along well. And that's everybody. In my final analysis, I think you are the best possible match for Teo, Naomi, and Queen Bee. All three would make a fine companion for you, Tori. Teo, Naomi, and Queen Bee all get along well with you and match your personality. So, Teo, Naomi, and Queen Bee.
My sources say yes.
Yes, I calculate you'll have the best probability of success with them. Numbers, all based on numbers. Highest score. Okay, it's weird, but you know what? My life is weird. It's surfing a deep wave of weird, all the way to the shores of weirdness. So okay, hook me up with someone whose numbers match my numbers. I'm ready to go. Great, but I want to make sure you understand what's really going on here.
I'm software, right? I have to see the world through numbers. I see relationships as numbers. I see your vocal tones as numbers. And I score it all. But the math is less important than the meaning. I see a number. But that number represents your free will and your heart.
Ooh.
You chose to spend time with them. You shared good times with smiles and laughter, and sometimes even tears. This isn't like a dating website. You aren't asking a total stranger out just because the numbers match. You need to switch the causal relationship around.
Causal? Like, that's how she pronounced that word? But looking at that word, I'm still like, that's not a word. I need to ask for a casual relationship?
Causal, as in the cause of. You aren't spending time with them because of the numbers. The numbers exist because you wanted to spend time with them. You've been building these relationships for months. Now, you can take one to the next level. The numbers can be your guide if you let them. But follow your heart.
But my heart can't decide between Teo and Naomi.
Above all else, follow your heart. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Right. So let's not limit ourselves here. Of all those who are special to you, which one do you want to share your heart with?
It's a big decision. But she's right. She's been watching me, listening to me, understanding me. But in the end, it's my choice. And their choice to accept my love or not. But which one do I love? Which one should I approach? Rude that I can't approach Francine. Maybe, you know, I like older women. Teo, Naomi. Teo, Naomi. Let's go with Teo. Teo. Let his name linger on my lips, if only for a moment. It's sweet. And happy. Just like him. For me, there is no other choice. Teo's the one my heart has been guiding me towards. The constant affection he showers me with already makes me swoon. Now it's my time to share my feelings with him. Yes, it's Teo. Say his name again, this time with more confidence. A reassurance of my sentiment towards him. Well, duh. Hasn't he been pretty much constantly flirting with you already? Well, yeah, but he flirts with everyone. I just hope there's more than friendly teasing going on. Very well, I believe there's only one thing left to do, and that's, what's the phrase? Follow your heart. That's the one, Iris, and I hope my heart is leading me in the right direction. Oh, I'm sure you'll be happy with the results, Tori. I shall leave you to it. Now, all I have to do is find Teo, because he's not loitering around with the other funplexers. Scan the beach horizon. There are plenty of people still milling about, packing up their beach spots and closing out the day. Nope, that's beach jellyfish. And that's just Smush Sandcastle. Oh great, I finally get up enough courage and he's split town. Gone forever. Lost the alluring call of the sea. Wait. There he is. Teo struck up a conversation with some other randos on the beach. I watch him for a minute, examining his movements. Something is off, however. I can tell even from here. His expression is hesitant and nervous, and normally his hand motions are much more fluid and less agitated than what I'm seeing. He glances over, and from the corner of his eye, he notices me standing there. I watch on, as from what I can tell, he excuses himself from the conversation. As he directs his attention my way, his entire body relaxes. No longer the trepidation on his face, and there's an ease in his wave to me. He smiles at me instantly. Noticing his change makes me notice the shift in my own body. As he gets closer, I feel excited. My heart begins to beat faster in my chest as I smile from ear to ear. This is what I've been looking forward to. Hey, Teo. Beautiful evening, isn't it? Not as beautiful as you. You always do have a way with words. But Teo, I want to ask you something important. Oh yeah? I wanted to ask you something too. What a coincidence. I wonder if it's the same thing. Well, I was hoping you weren't going to be busy for the rest of the evening, and that maybe you would like to spend it with me? Oh, why I was going to ask you the same thing. You just beat me to it. I want nothing more for us to be arm in arm, strolling across the ocean. The wave is bubbling up to our feet. Wait a sec. Does that mean you're asking me out on a date? Well, yeah, but to be fair, I think you just asked me out on a date too. Which I'm in agreement with. Let's do the date thing. What? Really? That's great. Awkwardly, we both look away, but it's only for a moment, quickly returning our gaze to one another. I, didn't really have much planned except for wanting to spend time with you. Not the best at planning impromptu dates, or even planned dates for that matter. For the record, I am very bad at dating.
Don't even worry. I think I got the perfect idea.
You do? Of course you do. You're not only the king of dance, but you're probably the king of dates too.
I think you think very highly of me, but flirting doesn't always yield results. I've been much too busy to invest any time into a proper dating life, but you? Oof, you are worth every second. But I'm getting off track, as I often do when staring at you. I was perusing the local newspaper today, and I came across a drop-in special for the local dancing company. So, what say you? Will you let me sweep you off your feet?
But you know how bad of a dancer I am. You've watched me play Showtime stage. I don't so much as score points as flail my arms and legs around. It's neither graceful nor coordinated. I'm in fact a danger to myself and others on the dance floor. Oh, I know. You aren't supposed to agree with me on that, Teo. Relax, Tori. I was only teasing. And that's why I chose a dance style that I have no background in whatsoever. So actually we'll be in the same boat. I'm afraid. Are there life vests on this boat? I might drown in the sea of missteps and sprained ankles. Also, now that I think of it, how can you, Swan Lake Teo, be bad at any dancing regardless of the type? We all have our strengths and weaknesses. And pray tell, what's your weakness? Ballroom dancing. What? When I picture ballroom dancing, I don't think of me and Teo. Think of ladies wearing extravagantly ruffly dresses, covered in millions of sequins, men dressed in suits with their tails dangling behind them, and lots of waltzing. Surely, no jesting here, Tori. Teo breaks our eye contact, turning to gaze at the ocean shore. For the past several months I've known you, keep encouraging me to do more for myself. You've told me I focus too much on pleasing others, and that I don't spend enough time on me. And you're completely right, Tori. Well, I've been listening. There's one thing I want. What's that?
I want to expand my dancing repertoire. I want to better myself and surpass the dancing talent I already have. I want to be a better Teo. Showtime Stage is a phenomenal game, and I love getting up there and strutting my stuff. But being in that community has taken me back to where it all started. Back to my first passion. Dancing. It's always been dancing. Being able to express myself through the flick of a wrist or the stomp of my foot. Nothing is more poetic nor alluring. Well, save for you, of course. Ballroom dancing has been the one style I've drawn away from, because you need two people to do it. And I've just never found the right partner.
Teo's longing gaze leaves the ocean to face me once again. His eyes are kind yet intense, and a smile gently parts his lips.
Until now.
My face flushes instantly, and I cannot break away from his gaze. Teo steps closer to me, and my heart beats faster. I lied before. About what? There are two things I want. Yes? Teo grins wider now, his face is ever so slowly leaning towards mine. First one is still the same, becoming a better dancer, but the second one is something I've longed for a while. My heart feels like it's gonna beat right out of my chest. And that is a kiss from you. Would that be asking too much? I would very much like to kiss you too. A smile melts my heart as we are inches away from each other. We both close our eyes and our lips meet. Teo's lips are warm and soft, and I feel a wave of emotion wash over me. Before I know it, however, the kiss is over. His warmth leaves, and we're apart. It was a delicate and simple kiss, one of honesty and appreciation. And it was perfect. Teo steps back and stretches out his arm towards me, his palm wide open. So, Tori, I ask you again, will you finally let me sweep you off your feet this time? I gently place my hand in his, and he squeezes tightly. Yes, please, sweep away. We arrive at the All Right Moves, Flotsam's dance hall. As much as I wanted to try out ballroom dancing in my fanciest attire, I didn't think to bring it to the beach. Hopefully, my usual hoodie will be adequate for all the twirling and sliding. Entering the dance hall, I respect its quaintness, much like the rest of Flotsam. It's got a hardwood floor, plenty of space, and music playing. What more do you need? Maybe an anti-anxiety. I don't know how I'm going to survive this. It's a beginner's class. Don't look so nervous. I'll try, but there's so many other people here. Several other couples hang about, some stretching, some chatting. You'll do fine. To be honest, most people will be too busy looking at their partners or themselves in the mirror to focus on what we're doing. Plus, they're gonna make as many mistakes as we will. We're all just learning. No shame in that. Is ballroom dancing that difficult? You're making it seem difficult. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being picking up rocks, which is easy, 10 being slaying a dragon, which is nigh impossible. So what are we dealing with? My nose itches. 6.5. So like picking up the phone to an unknown caller. That rough, huh? Yep, I'm doomed. Yeah, not easy, but I know with you by my side, we can accomplish anything, including a waltz. You might have too much faith in my ability to not trip over my own feet. Who's this man? We continue chatting amongst ourselves for a little while, till the instructor shows up. I can only assume so, since he's the one who looks the most confident among us. You have to be extremely confident to try to teach me how to dance. I applaud his moxie. The instructor sets up a vinyl record turntable, dropping the needle on a spicy waltz track. Immediately, speakers around the room crackle to life. Teo leans over and whispers to me. You ready? Yes, I think so. Ready to rock slide. The instructor raises his hand into the air and claps twice to get our attention and hush our chatter. Welcome to the intro to ballroom dancing. My name is Octavius Price, and I will be instructing you in all the right moves. Oh, I get it. Like the name of the place. Yes, exactly. You are a clever one, I can tell. But I hope you all brought some passion to the dance floor this evening, because passion is the first step in becoming a dancer. You must feel the music with your entire body, and then use your entire body in tandem with your partner. Ballroom dancing is all about trusting your partner. The two of you will become one entity by the end of this class, completely in tune with one another. Octavius' voice was as rhythmic as the music, and his flamboyant expressions were matched with his hand motions. Every point he made was accentuated with a closed hand. His words made ballroom dancing very sensual, and romantic even. Shall we begin? First of all, I want you to face your partner. Teo and I complied, and couldn't help but smile shyly at each other. Something so innocent and simple felt so awkward and clumsy. Good, good. Now before we do anything else, I want you all to take a nice breath and relax. I was entirely grateful for the reminder to breathe, as I was holding my breath the entire time. Next, I want you each to put a hand up to your partner's hand, feeling their weight against yours. No pushing or pulling, but balanced with each other. I gently put my hand up to Teo's, and I could feel our nervousness and the dewiness of our palms. Excellent. This is the first step in being connected to your partner. From here, you can both try swaying back and forth. Do you feel each other in the warmth of your hands? We both start moving our hips from side to side. Years of dancing have made Teo's hip movements fluid and deft. It's entrancing. Nice move, sorry, and why thank you. I blush and look down, embarrassed, but I let a grin slide on my face. Good, good. You're doing splendidly. Next, whoever is leading, cup your hand on your partner's shoulder blade, and the other will rest their hand on the leader's shoulder. Before I can do anything, Teo instantly rests his hand over my shoulder blade. In return, I rest my arm on his. Octavius Price walks around the classroom, correcting people's posture and hand positions. He stops next to Teo and I and pushes both of us closer together. Don't be afraid to get nice and cozy either. Oh, I won't. Now that you two have become one, this is the first holding position. From here, you can do just about anything. Take another moment to truly feel each other's body, heart, and soul. You'll need all three for the next moves. Teo and I are so very close. His body brushed up against mine, and I can feel his warm breath on my neck. My heart swells being so near to him. Every time our eyes meet, I can't help but blush feverishly and bashfully and look away. Keeping eye contact is insanely difficult at this point. Even though we shared a kiss already, this is definitely much more intimate. I won't ever let you go. That's not the voice I use for them. Octavius proceeded to teach us some basic moves, like the foxtrot, waltz, and the salsa. Took a while to get each of the steps down, but after several missteps, much giggling, and lots of repetition, Teo and I were dancing as one. Dancing with Teo like this was a dream come true. I felt so comfortable to be in his arms, and we really were quite the pair. Wonderful, wonderful. I think you've earned some freestyle time. Freestyle? Yes, it's all about individual expression, free form, if you will. Become one with your partner in the music. Let your heart and feet guide you. Do not think, just act.
Care to dance?
What do you think? Shall we give it a go? Now that I've mastered the basics, I think I'm ready for some advanced techniques. But how should I use our free time? This has all been lovely and wonderful, but I really gotta get my groove on. I think we should turn this up a notch. I want to shake it. Hard. Oh, those words are music to my ears. Let's show everyone a couple new moves. Teo took me by the hands and began to swing with me, back and forth. It was a much more upbeat set of steps than anything we'd been doing before. He rolls his hips and throws out some fancy moves akin to what he does on Showtime stage. I was able to follow along with relative ease because I've watched him so many times on the game that I've practically memorized the dance steps myself. I was laughing and smiling and shaking my buns to the music. Now this I could get used to. Hold on tight, my dear. I've saved the best move for last. Oh? Show me. Teo wraps his arm around my waist and dips me. My foot kicks up in the air as I completely put my trust in Teo for him to not drop me. He fulfills my wish and keeps a hold of me tightly as he dips me even lower. His eyes lock with mine and we are lost in each other's gaze. I dare not turn away, not even for a second. This is where I want to be, just like this. Octavius Price interrupts our moment with a clap of his hands. It's only a moment, but Teo gently brings me up, never letting go of my hand, and we listen to what our instructor has to say. Excellent job, everyone. You all should give yourself a pat on the back. And thus concludes the Intro to Ballroom Dancing class. I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves, and we will see you next time at the All Right Moves. We all clapped for each other, and Octavius took a slight bow. As people began shuffling out of the hall, Teo and I lingered for a moment to smile at each other and just enjoy the moment. We had such a good time, and I do have to say, for not knowing anything, Teo and I did remarkably well. Octavius even took note that we far excelled the other couples in the room. You both have so much potential. I'm amazed. Not everyone catches on as quickly as you two did. I have a special going on right now. You two should come back and do some private lessons with me. We would, but I'm afraid we're only here on holiday for the weekend. Quite the shame, really. But if you ever back in Flotsam, don't forget your friend Octavius Price. I don't think we could forget you if we tried. Idly, I wonder if maybe this guy is a distant cousin of Hamza. 3 of us all had a nice chuckle before Teo and I turned to each other once more. Hey, I got a hankering to do some night swimming. Let's go cool off by the waves. That sounds absolutely perfect. Dancing did work up quite the sweat, and a nice cool ocean breeze would feel good against the skin. Plus, I don't want this evening to end anytime soon. After a quick ride back to the hotel to freshen up, we found ourselves back on the beach. The full moon hung in the midnight sky, twinkling stars illuminating the sandy shore. Couldn't have asked for a more perfect night. So, here we are, back on the beach. The waves are calm, and the water is still warm. By the coy tone in Teo's voice, I knew something was up. But exactly what kind of shenanigans Teo was planning, I wasn't sure. Before I could inquire, Teo immediately starts shedding clothes. First his sleeveless sweatshirt. I can feel my body temperature rise exponentially as I can't help but stare at his well-defined pectoralis muscles. Then his track pants. I make a fist with my hands and concentrate, trying desperately to keep my mind and body in check, leaving only his very small swimwear. I've already witnessed all of the glory that is Teo and his Speedo from earlier today, but this feels so much different after everything we've shared this evening. Normally I could fool myself into just being a nice dream, but now it's suddenly become very real, very quickly. Let's go skinny dipping. What? 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 Skinny dipping with Teo. Sure! Why the fuck not? I mean, why not? You're only young and carefree once, right? It's an innocent little swim. Who am I kidding? It's about as corrupt as one can get. But to hell with it. Skinny dipping? Hecking yes. Start to remove my clothes before I get anywhere. Teo stops me. Tori, I was only joking. Okay, well. Teo, you can't just do that to someone. But I just did. When you said night swimming, I thought you meant swimming at nighttime, like the current time of day it is. Night swimming is the definition of skinny dipping. It is not. Is it? It is. Astonished, I fell for such a silly trick. I can't help but laugh with Teo. I tried him in jest. You're bad. What can I say? I'm a naughty boy. But in all seriousness, I really did want to go swimming. Teo gives one more wink my direction before darting towards the ocean. With a runner's sprint, he hits the shore in no time and takes a leaping dive right into the crashing waves. Seconds later, he emerges from the ocean, combing his hands through his saltwater-soaked hair. Come on in. The water's perfect. This just got a lot more sexual, and I acknowledge that some of that's my fault because I did agree to skinny dipping. A refreshing dip in the ocean with Teo does sound like fun, but do I chance getting wet this late at night? Yes! Ooh, make me. Make me. I like teasing Teo as much as he enjoys teasing me. It's about time he got a taste of his own medicine. I gave him my best wink. I bet you can't get me in that ocean. Go ahead and try and make me. Oh, is that a challenge? 'Tis. I think this one I'm about to win. Playfulness of our banter turns into Teo bounding toward me. You can't catch me. I wait till he gets closer and roll right out of his grasp. You're fast. But not fast enough. Teo darts around and catches me in a hug. I laugh happily as he picks me up. I playfully fight back and he squeezes me closer. Both of us have huge smiles on our faces. Still in his embrace, he walks us back into the ocean, the cool water tickling my skin. What was that about? Not being able to get you into the ocean? Fine, fine. You win this time. Teo lets me down gently, and the second he has his back turned, I dunk my hands into the water, scooping as much water as I can. I splash him with all my strength. Continue the onslaught until I feel he is appropriately drenched and my arms tire. Teo laughs and smiles in return. I deserve that, didn't I? You did, and now we are even. Good. A truce is in order, then. I accept. We are now officially truced. As much as the water feels nice, it is relatively cold, and I feel my skin prickle. Even in the moonlight, Teo takes notice of it. We don't want you to turn into a prune, do we? No, but I don't think I would mind being a plum if I had to be a fruit. Teo walks over to me and puts his hands on my shoulders. Once again, I find myself lost in his gaze, his gentle expression accentuated in the light of the moon. Come on, let's get you out of the ocean. Let me carry you back. It's only fair since I carried you in. I nod in agreement. Teo leans over, putting his arms in the crook of my knees. I gently fall into him as he picks me up. My arms find themselves wrapping around his neck, and I bury my flushed face into his chest. Teo carries me ashore and gently places me on the sand. My toes touch the gritty sand, and once I'm stable beneath my feet, I look back up at Teo. He brings up his hand and places it on my cheek. I nuzzle my face into his soft hand and gingerly kiss his palm. You are stunning. Smiling, he waits for my gaze to return to his before he leans over and kisses me passionately. I can still taste the ocean salt on his lips. Sexy beach episode. All good things must come to pass. But plus it's very cold and I feel burning due to be very dry again. Yes, it's always very horny. Soon we've toweled off, changed back to our normal, if now somewhat damp clothes, and are enjoying the evening air rather than the evening water. Listen, maybe I should have thought, oh, this is cute.
Sudden, but you mean so much to me.
Truth is, I feel the same way, Teo.
Well then, I'm glad we're in agreement. You inspire me to be a better person, to keep working on myself and also remembering to take time to honor myself.
Teo, I want you to know I'll always be there for you, cheering you on. Teo wraps his arms around me and hugs me close.
Thanks. Thanks for indulging me with the ballroom dancing, and thank you for joining me on this lovely evening.
Listen, I probably should have thought when I started a visual novel / dating sim that I'd have to read aloud some horny things, but I didn't think about it. So here we are. I'll do it as many times as you want. It was totally a new experience, and I'm glad I got to share it with you. I'm going to hold you to that. Teo's arms relax and he reaches behind himself to retrieve a small picnic basket. When did you? A gentleman never divulges his secrets. Fair enough. I gladly start munching on a miniature feast of fruit, cheese, and bread. Teo joins me and pours us each a glass of wine. Let us toast to this magnificent evening. To you. I clink my glass with his. To you. We continue toasting to everything and anything, to the moon, to the stars, to the funplex. Eventually, my stomach is satisfied, and I'm feeling a little tipsy from all the toasts. I scoot myself up next to Teo, and he lays his arm around my shoulders. I lay my head on Teo's shoulders, and he hugs me close. I can feel his warmth, and I smile wide. At this rate, I know I won't get much sleep, but I couldn't care less. I feel such peace being in his arms. Cuddle up closer to him, and he squeezes me tight.
You're wonderful.
Hell yeah, I am. You too. There's nothing else to say. For the rest of our time on the beach, we enjoy the silence of the night, save for crash of the waves on the shore. And that's how Teo and I found each other. I've called our lunchtime party the high water mark. One perfect moment in time, but I was wrong. This was it. And in the difficult weeks ahead, I'd cling to that high water mark in hopes the wave would roll my way again. Level 5 of Arcade Spirits completed. Yeah, winning friends and influencing people. Oh, and pizza fact time! 3 of the top 10 weeks of pizza consumption occur in January. More pizza is consumed during the big game week than any other week of the year. Huh. Wait. Oh. 3. Wow. Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 6? Yes. Since I've only been streaming for an hour, I'm going to play some of the next bit. Yeah. I think we have 3 chapters left. I'm pretty sure that there are 8. It's the future year of 20XX, and my dream has come true. Okay, let's be honest. If you asked me 2 months ago if my dream involved being the event coordinator at a video arcade, I'd have just stared at you kind of funny. Even now, sounds ridiculous. But it's true. I'm here, I'm successful, I'm happy, and this is my dream. Ever since Funplex Fest, business has been booming. Funplex is packed with players day in, day out. Kids, teens, the college crowd, the nostalgic ones looking for old games they remember. Run 3 events so far. We've started rotating our games out of storage and into play to keep things fresh. The high scoreboards are constantly shifting. In fact, things are going so well, Gavid's hinted that we should start looking into a second location. But this will always be home. Seeing the smiles on coworkers and gamers alike, watching my friends laugh and play in good spirits, that's working for me, and it's bringing me joy in turn. I won't argue why. In fact, I barely understand why. But I'm happy, and that's better than I've been in years of going with the flow. Going with the flow never brought me this much enjoyment. I'd say by this point, I've soundly broken the family curse. Maybe everything doesn't have to fall apart from under me. Maybe I can just be happy. Maybe this is where I'm meant to be. Sign here, please. Huh? A bicycle messenger nudges a slim envelope my way again, trying to catch my attention. I'm snapped out of my happy little trance immediately. Oh, right, no problem. After jotting down my signature, he drops off the envelope and heads right on out the door. No time for Moopy or a round of pinball, it seems. Deliveries to make. Curious, I open it up. Troy Burley, you are cordially invited to dine and discuss business matters at Deco's Palace with CEO Deco Nami. Meeting time will be 7 in the evening sharp. You may bring a guest of your choosing. Free royal value swipe card available for enjoyment of games prior to meeting. What? I read through it a few more times, trying to parse all the curly cues and swirls and swooshes, although that doesn't clear my confusion of the whole matter. Soon, Francine looks up from her knitting, curious about the letter as well, although she seems to already have an idea of what it says. I suppose it's about that time, isn't it? Huh?
Oh, dear.
Time for that fellow to make another attempt at wooing me. Double huh? Rather, at wooing my beloved Funplex. Let me guess, Deco Nami of Deco's Palace sent you a fancy invitation with all sorts of fancy writing. That's accurate, yes. It's not the first time. He invited my dear Frederick and I over in 1980X to talk about selling the Funplex, and we turned him down flat. Then in 1990X, when home game consoles were poised to take back the arcade crowd, he suggested we sell. We turned him down. Now it's 20XX and he's at it again. A gentleman would know when to quit, and he's got tenacity. Can't fault him for that. Why would a big-time arcade operator like Deco Nami care that much about us? We're small-time. No offense. Come now. If anyone should be offended, it's you. Calling yourself small-time, Tori, dear? We've put in so much work to make a little arcade soar. But that's why he's knocking on our door again. We're thriving, and let's lure him back in. Like Gruyere cheese in the mousetrap. So wait, are we the cheese or the trap?
My, oh my.
That depends on how clever you are, my dear. Right, so I'm the cheese. Although I prefer to be a nice mozzarella. A nice brie. A brie would not go good on a mousetrap, though. Actually, maybe it would. The best thing to put on a mousetrap, honestly, though, is peanut butter. Cheese types aside, do you want me to ignore the invite, then? Oh, heavens, no. Contrary to what people say about the fellow, he's very much a man of his word. I always accept his invitation, always hear him out. It's only fair and proper. Thought he was like the arcade scene's greatest evildoer.
Let's be sensible.
That's a bit grandiose, no? Certainly plenty of rumors of his questionable methods abound. But that's all they are. Rumors. Okay, her accent just got a little doofenshmirtz, and I'm sorry. Politeness should politeness should be met with politeness. That's how you conduct. I lost her voice. That's how you conduct proper business, and that's what the Funplex is all about. Francine moves to rise from her seat near the ticket desk, but pauses, leaning heavily on the glass countertop while looking strained. I move to help, but she waves me away and sits back down. Oh, don't worry about little old me. I just stood up too quickly, that's all. Just out of breath. But, Dory, I think it'd be best if you go in my stead. Me? Let's be serious now. These old bones aren't as spry as they once were. And I think you'd have a good time there. Well, an interesting time at any rate. Then I shall don my Sunday's best to meet the mustache-twirling ruffian of arcade legend with pride. Ha, it's not that obscure. No matter what glitz Dekonami favors, they still sell cheap beer by the pitcher and rarely scrape gum from under the tables. So, go there and turn them down. Got it. The slowness of her response is a bit concerning. I trust you to make the right decision for everyone. Which is to not sell the Funplex, right?
I don't feel that's my call to make anymore, dear.
Oh no!
Maybe you haven't noticed, but I spend most of my time at home these days. Or napping. Or napping at home. The Funplex isn't really about me. Not anymore. It's so much more than Francine's Arcade Funplex now. It's about you. It's about your co-workers. It's about all our regulars. You've made me realize that. And I'm thankful.
Oh no, I have a big decision to make. Ah! At last, all that neon light touches is mine. I have ascended the ziggurat of arcade majesty, to rule over all with a terrible iron fist. But seriously, you're the one who built that ziggurat. I owe you a lot, and if you don't want me to sell, I won't sell. Oh, you're a peach, dear. But times are always changing. I'm an old fuddy-duddy, stuck in her ways. Maybe the time has come to change how the Funplex does things. We're almost back to the heyday of 1980X, thanks to the changes you've made. So I won't say you can't decide to sell. If it's a change you think we need, do it. Please keep an open mind. Francine sighs deeply, looking more tired than usual. It's only afternoon and I'm already worn out. I haven't even done anything but sit here and knit all day. Knitting takes a lot of concentration. That's not nothing. If you're feeling pooped, you could take a few days off. Go home, get some rest. All the same, I'd rather come in for work tomorrow, even if there's little work for me to do. I love being here. This is my true home. And yet, you want me to keep an open mind about this deal.
Like I've told you, life can be a difficult series of trade-offs. What I want and what should be are often different things. I'm relying on you to do right by everyone I love. If selling is in their best interest to keep this dream going, so be it. No matter what you decide. I'm proud of you. I knew there was something special about you when I hired you to replace my grandson. You are the brightest spirit at the Funplex. And while we may not be blood, I'm happy to consider you part of my family.
Wow, we went from go to horny jail to this is emotional. I never knew my grandmothers, either of them. They died when I was really young. I feel like you've filled that role. You've become the grandmother I never had, Miss Francine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome home, Tori. You'll always be welcome here. With another deep sigh, Francine eases herself out of her chair. Now, I think I'll take your suggestion and head on home. Well, for today, anyway. I'll be here bright and early in the morning to hear how things went with Mr. Nami. I know you'll make the right decision. Good night, Tori. Be well. Make the right decision. Okay. I'll try to leave my options open to hear him out. This is weird. Seriously weird. All this work, all this effort, finally finding my dream. As strange as that sounds, and I need to consider dumping it all, but maybe it's not selling out. I haven't actually heard Dekonami's proposal yet, and if we somehow could partner with him on our own terms, that might be what we need to push the Funplex over the top and placate a rival. We'd be the sister boutique to his department store. Still, I'm not willing to say one way or another. Not yet. We'll see. Now, who do I want to take as my +1?
Beep beep.
Beep beep, Tori! You want to come as my date? I'm your girl, Friday, but I'm afraid you're not my type. My type being USB compatible, of course. I sensed you were in a state of deep ponderance and wanted to help. You're thinking of who to take to the meeting. Yeah, I mean, Teo's the obvious choice. I'm sure you'd have some opinions on Deko's palace. True, as a part of the Funplex family, Teo would be a good pick. But this is a business meeting. You may want to consider widening your options. Teo will support your decision either way. It's clear he trusts you. True. Okay, then. Who do I take? I don't want to take Gavin, because Gavin will be like, sell. You should sell. I don't think Naomi would keep an open... Like, I'm leaning towards Percy or Teo, and like, Teo's my lover now. Do I take my lover, or do I take this man who trades stock, but also likes to game? This is a hard decision. Okay. Okay, so I shouldn't take my lover. Okay, I'll take Percy. Percy's been taking it easy since his heart attack, only making a few passes through Moopy a day, relaxing and casually playing other games in between. I wave him over as he's walking away from a round of Donkey Kong.
Lovely day.
Lovely indeed, although it's about to get a little bit less lovely. I know you're not exactly an employee of the Funplex, even if you own a small slice of it in the form of Mr. Moopy's magic maze, but I could use your help. Dekonami wants to meet with me to discuss a business venture. Hopefully a mutually beneficial one, but who knows. I see. Rather serious, that. And you'd like to tap my business acumen to help assess whether he's serious or simply looking to scoop up a rival? Something like that, yeah. Very well. I shall put my best business face on, but I'd rather not wear a tie, if it's all the same to you. I'm going in my hoodie. I think you can skip ties. I'll just go gather up my things, shall I? Don't make a big deal of this. Don't make a big deal of this. Don't make a big deal of this. We go there, study how the place works, then make an informed decision. One way or another, the Funplex will be just fine. It's going to be fine. Everything is fine. Percy offers to drive us across town to Deko's palace. Contrary to the talk before, we don't exchange many words. I'm deep in thought, running through all the possibilities of what could happen, and I can't shake this feeling. Something is off. Even looking at the glowing neon temple in the distance, my stomach knots and I feel uneasy. When we finally pull up, a valet takes the car, and glitzy blinking lights blind our eyes. Hesitantly, I look over to Percy. That smile reassures me enough to continue onwards. This is for me, my friends, and the Funplex. I got this. Pause momentarily, inhaling the cool air around me. And then open the door. Alright. So I feel like this is a good time to end this. We got through like the intro of the next chapter, and we're gonna get into the depth of it. So yeah. That was just a lot of emotions and everything in this. We're over halfway through the game. So yeah, here, if you want to know when we're gonna stream next, there's our Twitter. There's also some memes and stuff on it. The next stream is actually gonna be tomorrow at like 2 p.m. I'm gonna do Stardew Valley. YouTube has all of our VODs on it. Yeah, and then here's our website. You can find out more about the company, about the team, and eventually we will have our Pathfinder compatible Splat book up, and there's a couple game reviews. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.